Hi guys, this is our class 2 in chapter 3. In our previous class, we have seen how to work with configuration file. In this session, we are going to focus on SnowSQL. Let's jump on SnowSQL prompt. Enter your password. Generally, all the SnowSQL commands starts with exclamatory mark. If you know each of these commands, how they work, that's all. You are master in SnowSQL commands. Let's start with first command, that is abort. This helps to abort a query which is currently running. Now we are going to see how to abort our queries. Now let's run a query. To pick up its query ID, go to History tab and refresh again, and read the query ID. Copy and go and provide here. See, the query got aborted. If you refresh here, so you will see the query execution is cancelled. So there is another way to abort our queries. Let's see how we can abort in other way. Think that I am running the same query again. Go to History app and go to Query History. Refresh again. So in the history details of that particular query, you can see the button here, abort. You click here, so automatically your query gets aborted. That's it. And we have a third option, that is using the system function. So we have a system function called system cancel query. Let's run the same query again. Refresh one more time. Now our intention is to abort this particular query using the system function. Go to the SnowSQL prompt and use this function, and within this single quotes give the query ID. Copy the query ID and provide here. Query got cancelled. If you refresh here, you will see this message. Now let's look at the next command, that is connect. So you are already aware of this command, right? In our previous class, we have used it. If you want to connect to the other account which you have, so this command can be used. Suppose I want to connect to another Snowflake account. You can say digital market. This is my another Snowflake account. Let's run this command now. Yes, now I got connected to the other account. Now let's go to another option, that is edit. So edit, this command helps to modify your last SQL statement. So to use this command, first of all we need to set an editor to open our SQL statement. So how to set? Say set editor. So by default, Snowflake has Vim editor defined for this particular option, but I don't know what is Vim editor. I have never used it. So I am setting Notepad as my editor. Now run a command. I'm not authorized. Think that I am running a wrong command. Okay, now I want to edit this SQL. So you can say edit. save, correct your SQL and say save and close it. Now let's go to the next command. Exit, we are already aware of. It is to exit from the session. And help. This command helps to find all the commands of SnowSQL. Let me run this. And if you see here, the result is not looking good. So wrap false. Now you see the decent output. You are seeing like whatever the commands we have learned about connect, define, edit, exit, help, and there are some more. So we are going to see them. And now let's jump on. So pause we generally don't use, and print, even printing some message we don't use much. Let's see the print command. Say Snowflake is awesome. Cloud database. Cloud warehouse database. So it will print the text whatever you are giving. This helps whenever you are sending some test records to some other party. Okay, from multiple tables to differentiate result set of from one table to the result set of another table. You can write some messages, but we hardly use this command. Okay. Now let's work with the quit command. So quit, so it come out completely from SnowSQL. Let's come out. That's it. It's saying goodbye. Now let's log in back. And we don't use this rehash command. Okay, this is related to the SnowSQL client. So let's work with this command. Actually, this command work with this particular query. What is that? It's queries. Okay, let's type this command. So whenever you type this command, what happens? It will show your last 25 queries. It displays query ID, SQL text status, and the duration. So think that if I want to see the result set of this particular query, okay, this particular query previously it has ran, but I want to see the result of this particular query now. So what I can do, I can use this command, result. So I can say result and give the query ID. This is my query ID. See, this is the result of the query. Okay, now we are aware of queries, quit, rehash, however, we are not using it, and the result we are aware of now. And let's see about source. So source is a command which we can use to invoke SQL file to the SnowSQL to execute it. Example, if I want to execute this particular script, this is my SQL script, I want to execute it at the command prompt, at the SnowSQL prompt. I can say exclamatory mark source and let's use the path of this particular file and say okay. I'm sorry. Again, sorry. This is the result of your SQL file. Now, instead of exclamatory mark source, you can say exclamatory mark and load, both works. Let's see what more options we have. So spool, you are already aware of it. So spool command is same like how we use in case of Oracle. So if you say exclamatory mark spool and give the file name, after that whatever the commands you type, so the result of those commands and including that statement will be printed in a file that you have defined along with the spool command. So whenever you want, you can turn off the spool. This will help to check like what are all the queries you have ran if you want. But we generally don't use this command. Some people might use to have the log of their queries, what they are running. And the next command, system. So whenever you say exclamatory mark and system, this is very much helpful command. Using this, we can run our Unix commands or our bash commands in the ETL scripts whenever we want. See, this is how we can use this system command. Now let's see the next command, variables. It will show all the variables you have defined and their latest value. Now let's use this command. This command displays the latest values of the variables that you have defined in this particular session. Not only that, it will display default variable values as well. Let's see. And I have typed this command here and say variables, yes. So far there are no variables it is defining because I did not define any variable in this session. Let's say define. So I'm saying define order date is equal to current date minus 1. So whenever you are defining variables, I told you like to use this command. Set variable substitution is equal to on. Then only it is going to substitute the value for the variable that you have defined. Now, otherwise it will give error, okay? So how to use it? Say ampersand and order date. Okay, now run this command, that is exclamatory mark variables. You will see the variable that you have defined and its current value. SnowSQL has two built-in variables. One is like row count, the second one is query ID. So how to use them? So if you want to see the result of your last SQL statement, you can use this particular variable. Suppose I am going to run a command now. Select star from sales dimensions dot customer limit file. Okay, I am not authorized. Then let's change the role. Now let's run our query. So now let's run the variables command. So here you can see the number of records processed by the last SQL statement is 5. So if you want to display that row count, you can say select ampersand underscore row count. Okay, it will display the result. And then if you want to see the query ID of your last statement, you can say underscore sfqid. So since our query ID is varchar, so enclose them in a single quotations and you will see the query ID. So now the test. So if you want to see all the queries which you have ran in the recent period, what command you type? Yes, we need to type this command, queries. Okay, so this is the latest command. Okay, let's see what is remaining now. Abort we are aware, connect we are aware, define we are aware, edit we are aware, execute we are aware, help we are aware, options we are not aware. Pause we don't use, print we don't use much, queries we use, quit we use, rehash we don't use, result we use, set. Yeah, whenever we are going to discuss about the options, there we will discuss more about the set. Okay, and we are aware of source. Instead of source, we can use the load as well to execute SQL script. Spool we are aware, system we are aware, variables we are aware. Now let's go back to the options. So if you say this, it will display all the options that you can set for your SnowSQL session. Example, let's see like what options we have. Auto completion. Auto completion in the sense, see whenever I type this and it is ready with the recommendation. So if you want to stop this recommendation, say set auto completion is equal to false. Okay, now if I am starting set, the auto recommendation will not come. Changing auto completion value to false is not good. Okay, so let's see what more we have. So we have here client session keep alive. So if you are not doing any activity, still you want your session alive. So in that case, you can say true. So whenever you say true, otherwise it is false. After certain period of time, if Snowflake finds there is no activity from this particular session, the session will be closed. Client store temporary credentials, so we don't use this much. So system admin will take care. Generally, we use this command on Linux servers. And connection options, we don't use it. And echo, this particular command is to print some message. And editor, so we have seen already. So like to define an editor to edit our last SQL statement, right? So I told you at the time the default is VIM. We can set it to Notepad. Let's set editor. Editor is equal to Notepad. Now let's go and check options. Currently it's set to Notepad and empty for null in TSV. So whenever you are exporting result in a TSV format, a tab separated values format, so if you want empty, meaning like a zero length string in place of null, so you can say true. Okay, so otherwise it will place null as well. So environment variables we generally don't use. Okay, execute only. So executes query only, but no data will be fetched. Suppose if I say execute only, I can set execute only is equal to true. So now let's run our SQL statement. That's it. No result will be displayed. Nothing will be fetched from the Snowflake server. Okay, and let's see what more we have. Exit on error. Yeah, this is very important option. So suppose you have an ETL script where there are 15 or some 10 SQL statements are there. So in that, if one of the statement is failed, you don't want to run the further commands. So in that case, you can say exit on error. At the beginning of the script, you can say exit on error is equal to true. So what happens? Any one of the statement fails. If one of the statement fails in that particular script, that's all. So your session will be killed. Fixed parameter precedence we generally don't use. Force put override, this generally we don't use. Friendly even we don't use. When I say exit, it is saying goodbye. So if you don't want these messages to display, so you can say friendly false. So then header, you don't want the header for your results, then you can say hyphen set header is equal to false. So let's run a SQL statement. So prior to that, we need to unset before executing this command. We need to unset the execution only option. So previously we kept value for this execution only is equal to true. So we need to turn it to false. So now let's run our SQL statement. I'm not authorized. Say use role. I think I have killed the previous session. Now I logged into new session. So that's why it is asking again. Okay. See, now there is no header here. Only result is displayed. Now let's see what more options we have. We have insecure mode. This is for system admin. Key binding. This is again a option shortcuts. If you want to, by default, this key binding will come. If you say Control A, your cursor goes to first of the line, first of your SQL statement. Control E, it goes to the end of your SQL statement. This comes by default. Okay. And log bootstrap file, log level, these are all related to the logging. That about these we have already discussed. And then login timeout. So whenever you are trying to connect Snowflake through your SnowSQL client, if it crosses 120 seconds, automatically the timeout message will come. If you want to prolong the timing to still try even after 120 seconds are passed, you can set it to 240 if you want. Turn off the auto upgrading SnowSQLs. So SnowSQL new patches. Basically, there will be a continuous update on the SnowSQL. So you can set like continuous upgrading of these SnowSQL packages. You can set it to true, but generally it is false. So OCSP file opens. OCSP file open. This is basically related to the security. System admins will take care. This is to specify where the result of your SQL script to be written, and output format. So generally, this is the style of result you are getting is the PSQL format. You can I know you did not find the difference. So to see the difference between the output formats, let's choose only two columns. See how it is displayed. And now let's set in place of pipe, we say PSQL. See here, like you got, there is one more line on the top. Let's use the grid format. Yeah, you can observe the differences, right, with the output formats. This is pipe delimited, this is pipe format, and this is PSQL format, this is grid format. Okay, let's see like what more options we have. Oh, the entire result set is coming in grid format. Let's go back to normal format, that is PSQL. I think we are used to it. And yeah, output format and paging. So if you have bigger result set, for every page it will ask to enter so that it will show you the next page. And progress bar we generally don't use, and prompt format, I mean you can format the way it is displaying here, but we generally don't use it. So the default is good. Now quite, it hides the complete output of your query. So example, now say set quite is equal to true. So when I am running a command, I mean if it is error, then it will give the error message, otherwise very quiet. I mean it will not print anything. And remove comments and remove trailing semicolons. So whenever you are submitting a SQL to the server, so sometimes in the SQL itself we write the comments, right? So if you don't want those comments to be submitted, you can say remove trailing semicolons is equal to true. But generally we don't use them. So results you are already aware. And row set size. So whenever it is fetching the records, whenever your SnowSQL client is trying to fetch the records from the server, so each time it brings 1000 records as a packet to display on your desktop. Generally we don't work with this option. So whatever is there by default is good. Suppose if you want to turn off your Snowflake query ID in the result, you can say SFQID is equal to, let's say, quite is equal to false. Otherwise we cannot see the difference when we use this option. Okay, let's turn off the quite setting, quite to false. Now let's say hyphen set SFQID is equal to true. Now let's run our command. See, here is your query ID. If you say false, you will not find the query ID in the result. Likewise, we have Snowflake query ID to be displayed in error. If you want query ID for those statements which are errored out, you can set it to true. And SQL delimiter, it's always semicolon, we don't need to change. Stop on error, and previously we have seen exit on error, where it is here. So both look similar, but exit on error, it completely quits the SnowSQL session. But whereas quit on error, it only quits that SQL script where it finds the error. So then, but that session is still alive. Okay. For example, think I have a script. Yeah, this here I have stop on error is equal to true. And actually this statement will go wrong because there is no customer table X. Okay, I saved it. Let me run the script here. Okay, second statement is wrong. So second statement and third statement did not run, but still the session is alive. And what more we have? Syntax style, we don't work with it. Timing, so if you generally, like for every statement, Snowflake produces how much time it has taken to execute this statement. So that detail will be there under the result of each query. Suppose if you don't want, okay, so you can turn it off. So saying exclamatory mark set timing is equal to false. Okay, timing in output file, suppose whenever you are exporting the result of a query, you want the elapsed time of that particular query into the file, or you don't want to print that into the file. So you can use this option. Then variable substitution, this you are already aware of it. So whenever we define a variable, exclamatory mark define command, so you should use this option as well. In the next command it should be exclamatory mark set variable substitution is equal to true. And then version. So currently I am working with the SnowSQL version 1.2.19. Suppose if you want to use like older version, so you can say exclamatory mark set version is equal to 1.2.18. Okay, so that's all for this class. So in this chapter so far, we have covered configuration file and we have covered NoSQL commands. In the next session, we will be working more with the web interface. And after that, we will be dealing with very exciting chapter, that is virtual warehouse. Thank you for watching this video and take care. Please subscribe my channel. Thank you.